my associates convinced me to change my screen tone from black to
hello, sir.
Easier eyes. Anyways, I feel like a total psychopath, but I love it. It's really good. Oh, really?
Yeah,
So good. Mine always sort of dimmed a little, got rid of less blue light or whatever it is, but
you like dark mode?
I do. It's interesting. Yeah, I do feel self-conscious.
Because it went on some kind of religious thing. Some kind of religious thing to build a church or something. All right. So, I mean, he gets a lot of high praise. He just didn't finish his apprenticeship school. But, knows him?
Yes, but I give him high praise for
Yeah.
So did it just change back under?
As soon as he sits, we start. But it did turn off. Because that was turned on.
we have to see a little bit of a
That is wild. Right. Yeah, I know what it can do. Yeah, exactly. Who needs that anymore?
Robin,
Yeah.
are we ready? Are we ready? No, I gotta hear my.
Recording in progress.
Ready? Yes? Oh, that was quick. I like that. Can I do it again? Hola, hola, hola. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. It is 2 minutes after the hour of 4, and I'm calling to order this special meeting of the West County Wastewater Board of Directors on the 12th of August. Madam Clerk, will you please say the roll?
Present.
Here.
Yes.
Here.
I am aquí. Thank you so much. With that, I will ask everyone if you may, will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, or at your pleasure, you may observe a moment of silence, seated or standing. Director Rintila, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. As a reminder, the board's rules of decorum are in effect. We ask everyone to wait to be recognized before speaking and keep your remarks focused on the item under consideration. If needed, I will take appropriate steps to maintain decorum throughout the meeting and to maintain an orderly meeting. Individuals disrupting the meeting may be removed at the president's discretion, which I told to her, she don't like doing that. So let's just have a good meeting. All right? Public comments. Now is the time for public comments on items not on the agenda. Members of the public may comment during this time up to 3 minutes per speaker. Directors may briefly respond or ask clarifying questions. However, you may not engage in discussion during public comments made during this time. Madam Clerk, have we received any written comments or requests to speak for tonight's meeting?
Anyone wishes to speak on non-agenda items, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
Very well. Seeing that, I'm going to ask our general manager, Andrew Kloa, will you please lead us? Actually, hold on, before that. Vice President Alvarado,
Yes.
we neglected to do one thing.
Yes.
Vice President Alvarado, I want to ask you to please serve as the parliamentarian for tonight's meeting. Are you ready and willing to serve in that capacity, sir?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Now,
Thank you.
I will ask General Manager Andrew Cloud to please lead us through the rest of the agenda, sir.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. The consent calendar consists of items 1 through 3 on the agenda. Madam Clerk, have we received any written comments or requests to speak on consent calendar items?
We have not. If anyone wishes to speak on items 1 or 3, please approach the podium or raise your hand in Zoom. Seeing none, we have no public comments.
Other comments? Board members? Do we have any comments or with any, or shall we have? I will entertain a motion and a second on the consent calendar.
So moved.
And I will second it.
Is there any discussion on this item? I do have a discussion on number 3, the proclamation recognizing Women's Equality Day. Just to say, it's really, really important. Before we approve it,
Okay.
this, I like the proclamation, but I do want to say for the record, just 2 weeks ago, there was the recognition that Black women, and in another week and a half, it will be Latina women, will reach what we call equal pay day. That means you have to work all the way until the middle of August and all the way until September to reach a point where you are reaching equal pay to the average male. So this is not just a piece of paper that we should be having a proclamation and putting it in a frame or putting it on a wall. This is something that we need to be thinking about, where you have women earning anywhere from 46 cents on the dollar to 68 cents, 57.5 cents on the dollar for every dollar that a male earns, even when you're doing the exact same job, and in most cases, when we are more educated and more qualified for that same job. So I don't want this to go past that we're only doing a proclamation to have it on paper or to put it on a frame or to put it in a file in a drawer. This is something that we are actively working towards, not just parity, but equality, which is different than parity. So, that said, we have,
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
May I have a few comments?
absolutely.
I just want to make clear that I understand that you're talking about the pay equity in general, but I want to make very clear that at West County Wastewater, all job classifications are standardized. It does not matter what your gender is, you are paid the same amount.
Absolutely, which is why I want to make sure I bring it up, because like I say, we're working towards that here at West County, and it's not just something we're writing down on a piece of paper, right?
Well, it's not just working, it's there. It's in.
No,
it's in
I
our
know, but
approved-
I want to make sure it's not just something
Yes.
that's writing on a piece of paper.
Yes, thank you.
So this is why I don't want this moment just to pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good? Any other comments? Good? Yeah. So with that, we have a proper motion and a second, and my comments, and Joe Manager comments. Madam Clerk?
On the motion by Vice President Alvarado and seconded by Director Pinberry to approve consent calendar items 1 through 3. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion passes 4-0.
Thank you so much. Sir?
Thank you. Next on the agenda is regular calendar item 4, to adopt the amended purchasing policy and to adopt a resolution amending the management authority of the general manager.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I need to, and Director, and Vice President Alvarado. On the last motion is 4-0, but can you say for the record, with Director, with absent? So can we just for the record, please?
So the motion was approved for consent calendar items 1 through 3, 4-0 with Director Wiener in.
Thank you. Proceed, General Manager. The regular calendar, item 4.
Mr. Justin Lovell will come up and give a brief presentation or be able to answer questions, whichever you prefer.
And yes, can we have the presentation?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam President and members of the board, Justin Lovell, Deputy General Manager.
Thank you.
So today I want to go over briefly the updates to the purchasing policy. This did go to the Finance Administration Committee on May 14th, where we had a very in-depth discussion. I'm trying to keep the comments brief, so you can, I did outline in the staff report all of the specific changes, as well as an attachment with all the track changes to the purchasing policy update. The current purchasing policy was adopted in 2021. So as a best practice, we would like to periodically review all of our policies just to make sure they're up to date and if there's any changes that we need to make. So it's been about 5 years since this purchasing policy was adopted. And so worked with general counsel and with staff to make some recommended changes on the policy. Really, we're recommending changes that will reduce administrative burden, align the policy with updated state laws, clarify the general manager authority, and then just make some minor grammar changes and edits to the policy, or make changes to position titles that have changed since the policy was updated. So the purchasing policy is broken down into 11 parts. Say the kind of the biggest changes that were made in there, we just made adjustments to what the limits are for gifts from according to the FPPC. We've made a change adding encouraging section encouraging proactive outreach to local, small, and underrepresented businesses as part of our purchasing. We've clarified within the policy that the procurement is separate from, the procurement threshold is separate from the authority to approve and award contracts, which is under the general manager, or execute contracts as under the general manager authority or the board authority. So the larger changes as part of the purchasing policy is under section 2, methods of procurement. It's increasing the threshold for soliciting informal quotes or proposals from $25,000 to $50,000, and then it's increasing the threshold for formal competitive solicitations for quotes or proposals from $50,000 to $100,000. And so this is an expanded procurement flexibility that allows contract awards and it's also expanding the flexibility to allow contracts awarded either on best value or the lowest responsible bidder. We have also updated the limits that have been as part of the California Uniform Public Contracting Act, which is all that we refer to as CUPCA. Those limits, the dollar limits, have been updated within the policy. And so those are aligning with that act. And so that is $75,000 is where you can direct negotiate or do work with your own forces. $75,000 to $220,000 is work that, this is for public contracts that can be informally bid, and anything over $220,000 will need to follow the formal bidding, bidding procedures. We've also expanded and clarified the distinction between single source and sole source procurements. We've removed a subsection on real property because that is addressed in the management authority resolution. We've also added language that streamlined and the delegated purchasing authority to the general manager to award contracts for equipment, materials, supplies, and services up to $50,000, regardless of expenditure category. And we've removed specific reference to contract authority for contracts for capital replacement and improvement. And the other section that we made some adjustments was on surplus property, increased the threshold for declaring fixed assets as surplus from $5,000 to $25,000. That aligns with how we're for accounting for fixed assets. And then we've clarified the prohibition on personal benefit from West County wastewater surplus property. So those are kind of the high-level changes that we made within the purchasing policy. And as part of that, in conjunction with the purchasing policy, we're making recommendations to adjust the management authority. So the authority to delegate authority of the purchasing policy. So that's just amending the general manager's authority. So that hasn't changed. It's still at $50,000, but we've just expanded that to align with the purchasing policy recommendations. We're also recommending to add an item within the management authority to authorize the general manager to take all actions necessary to implement the employee assistance program consistent with discussions with the board. And we are recommending to add an administrative clarification in the management authority to clarifying that the general manager is authorized with signature authority in the name of West County Wastewater District. So this is just providing additional clarity. So with that, this is a summary of the changes that are in the policy. The track changes for both documents are attached as part of the staff report, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, sir. Appreciative. As noted, this did come to the Finance and Administration Committee in May of this year. And yes, we had quite a protracted conversation on this. Before I make any comments, Director King Meredith, do you have any comments, Madam?
Thank you, Madam Dr. Chair. I was just looking over my notes from May 14th for our Finance and Administrative committee meeting that we had. And for what my notes that I have, seem like everything has been covered unless I've missed something, what we had asked for staff to have in place. So at this point, Madam, I don't have any objections for the presentation that our Deputy General Manager just presented. Unless I missed something.
Unless you missed something?
I say unless I missed something.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
once you started, I'll come back.
Okay, no problem. So thank you, especially thank you for adding the clarification on the days, our calendar days, and not business days or work days. So thank you for making that clarification that we discussed. And adding the text that I asked to define, before the words, $6 or $1,000 and just making that consistent throughout the document. I think that I did want to give you the opportunity to tell the rest of the board why. I know you mentioned it when you said it, but I wanted them to know why we're making this change with the general manager's authority. And I know you just said kind of flexibility, but can you tie it back to our, you know what I'm going to ask you. Can you tie it back to our strategic plan, please? Yes.
Yes, I mean, this is, as this item is related to strategic plan, the goals related to, let's see if I find it here. That fiscal responsibility, and this is promoting policies and practices that support sustainability and integrity, innovation, and fiscal responsibility within West County wastewater.
And as far as like personnel, overall, I know it's supporting that, but why would we need to expand the general manager's authority?
Well, this one is fairly for kind of the administrative, to reduce administrative burden on purchases, because there are times where we need to move, fairly quickly. And what we do, we're not asking to increase the general manager's spending authority. This is currently what the general manager's authority is at 50,000. So this one is, we're clarifying the different, we're really aligning the purchasing procurement thresholds with the general manager authority.
That's the part I wanted you to say. That's the part I wanted you to say for the rest of the board, that we're aligning this document with the rest of the documents and then the practice, but also in general counsel, this is also in line with what is general practice, not just here at West County Wastewater, but it was also very low. So can you what we discussed at our committee meeting, it was also very low. I think it was at 20,000?
It was 25,000.
25,000.
For the requirement to not solicit. So we are aligning with kind of what more other.
The general industry practice,
And
but
industry
also
practices, right.
aligning it with our other board-granted authority. So this is what I wanted you to say for the record.
That's
Correct.
exactly right. It creates administrative ease and relieves some of that burden because it lines up the general manager's authority with the obligation to engage in a competitive solicitation process. So it sort of facilitates and streamlines for staff that, what the thresholds are and how that aligns with ultimately what the general manager's signature authority is.
So, yeah. So I just wanted that on the record because I don't want anybody to open these documents, see a whole bunch of blue lines and be like, wait, what is this? And the other side of that too is that it does not restrict, so I want the rest of the board to know, it does not restrict the general manager from, in some occasions, still bringing this to the board for approval on some of those items that are more high level or sensitive in nature, even if it falls below the threshold of his approval. We did discuss that, correct, General Manager?
If I could add a quick comment, I would just use a little different phrasing of that in that, yes, I'm permitted to, but I will bring some that are under the threshold if I feel that it is something that I would want the board to be aware of before I made that decision.
Yes. And that's within the general manager's discretion. There were a few things, I'm not gonna point them out here, but there was a few occasions where it still said like the word 5, but not the number 5, but I can send those to you. I think that yeah, I just wanted that explanation. But I think that most of what we talked about was there except for that. And that we said that we were going to, yeah, we're not gonna have split purchase. The clarification, thank you especially for the clarification of sole source versus single source. That one, very important to me. The only thing I wanted you to do is, can we just, and this is stylistic, it's just for me, is just, can you split that paragraph for me? So it doesn't look like that. And I can send you a message on that one. And thank you for getting rid of real property, because we don't deal with that one. Just so the rest of the board knows what I'm talking about. It's under section 2. 2 methods of procurement. G, sections G, which is now no longer going to be here. And can you let the board know why you move under A2 is there's a cross out of capital facilities replacement and improvements, because I think we made that change purposely. It's on page 7,
Yeah, that
under
one
purchasing
is,
authority.
just aligning the authority, just to keep it at $50,000 under the general manager. So it also goes back to just keeping it consistent that the general manager's authority is this $50,000 for those procurements outside of CUPCA. So this really just kind of simplified just administration of the procurement rules, why I got removed.
So we're not getting rid of it, we just kind of consolidated the language, just so you guys know. So you all know, I shouldn't say you guys, but you all know. And then, under 6C, where we added the language, either the lowest price or the best value, it gives more flexibility to the staff to determine, instead of only saying the best value. It will be decided at the procurement level, not the board imposing it under the policy, correct?
Correct. So this actually is, especially when we're purchasing goods and supplies, it'll actually make it much better or easier for us to make the best selection for West County wastewater.
Yes. And there was one more that I did have a question on the surplus property. And I believe I asked this question during the meeting. It was under Section 9, surplus property, and this may be something for general counsel. I believe I asked if these also applied to the board, because it doesn't say this.
If the language regarding conflicts of interest also applies to the board?
No, yes, because it says under no circumstances shall any WCW property, capitalized or non-capitalized, be sold or given to anyone unless approved by general manager or designee, nor shall any employee or any member of their immediate family personally benefit from the disposition of any WCW property. But it really is not just the employee, but it's also board member too.
You're right.
And I think we talked about this. So in both of those sections, this entire section also applies to the board. The board is also not supposed to benefit from any property sold or auctioned off from the district. And I think we talked about this at the committee meeting, so I wanted to explicitly say that not just the employee and their immediate family, but the board members and their immediate family, right?
Yes, so the law is really around whether or not the individual had any say or control or involvement in the surplusing of the property. So depending on what we're talking about, it may apply to the board.
It may apply,
And so I think it makes sense to
yeah.
make a revision here to just be sure that we're clear that to the extent the board is involved in the decision, then certainly the conflicts rules would apply to them in the same way. And
Okay.
that would be, to be clear, that would apply regardless of whether or not we put it in our policy, because that is the law.
Okay, so I'll leave it up to you to wordsmith it, but the board members, when I call on you, if you have a question about what I just say, just let me know. But it's this section, that whole section is what I'm talking about. It's throughout the section, I don't have to point it out to you, but I think you know what I mean, right? Okay.
Yes, I believe.
And under 10, the environmentally preferable purchasing, I wanted it to say something like use our best efforts, not, because it seeks to ensure, but I do want us to use our best efforts to use environmentally preferable purchasing, because that does align with our strategic plan.
So are you recommending that we remove the word ensure and replace that with use
Well,
best
I don't
efforts?
know which one is stronger. Which one is stronger? Ensure, is ensure stronger?
Ensure is stronger, but I think it's covered, actually, the concept rather, is covered in the next sentence where it says that employees are required when feasible to select products that conform to this policy and the guidelines. So in that context, it's if it's feasible, or rather maybe if there's going to be a change to that sentence rather than the sentence before.
When feasible.
When feasible, suggests that if there are other operational or public interest or agency challenges that would prohibit us from complying with this policy, then we wouldn't. But otherwise,
It's
the
them
agency would
styrofoam
seek to
cups
do
that
that.
I'm talking about.
What was that?
Them styrofoam cups. Them styrofoam cups get to me, or even them single-use plastic bottles. Them single-use plastic water bottles. Boy, you guys tear my heart out. Every time I see them, I choke a little bit. I die a little bit inside every time I see them single-use plastic water bottles.
We hear you.
Okay, I thought I said it 3 times. That way you just really hear me just a little bit. Okay. I think that was it on that one. Director King Meredith, did that spark anything in your notes before I turn it over to the rest of the board?
I think, under that purchasing part, under the purchasing, I think you covered that, but one of the things we talked about, the gift prohibiting, and to add in, under the gift, and that was under your purchasing policy.
Oh, yeah, I said no
You saw
gifts.
that?
I say no gifts.
Yeah, no gifts.
No gifts.
Yeah, no gifts.
No gifts. I don't
Right.
care how
And
much
the
it is.
60 days, to correct,
Yeah.
just 60 days. So you covered out, like I said, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you had it covered.
There
Okay?
was, in my notes, he said that the contract award is approved by the GM, and the GM will let us know in the quarterly report. Okay, and so, did you standardize the Director of Administrative Services or designee? Because there was a
The
couple
title
times.
there, and those have been,
Yeah,
I
because
think we believe we got all of those
you
title
just put
changes
them
on
all
there.
the same, because sometimes it said Director, the DGM, and sometimes it says Director of Administrative Services. So you just put them all in the same?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. It was having the stronger green procurement statement. This is what I was looking for. We said that we would have a stronger green procurement statement that's pointed back to our strategic plan statement. You are going to look at that and tie it to the strategic plan. These my notes. The stronger green procurement statement that was going, and then you were going to tie all of these back to the strategic plan in that sense. That was it.
They're different in section 2 of methods of procurement. You wanted,
Now, did I miss somewhere that where we spoke about community sponsors? Chad,
He said it.
he said he got
That
that
was
one.
there. No, I didn't see it, Justin. Where is he?
Okay. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I went through it.
No, he just said, where is he,
well,
Justin?
so you're referring to in the section 2 of the methods of procurement where,
Where? Yeah, I'm in that section, but there's not the, is the green procurement,
so the evergreen, so where we,
not evergreen
you
contracts.
said just, you're saying.
Green procurement means it's an actual method of ensuring that procurement is a standard of procurement. So the statement that I just read under section 10, I think,
Under 10, that's where,
but that's like, so environmentally preferable purchasing is a section under an actual green procurement policy. So a green procurement means that it's not just us, but you require your subcontractors and vendors to also adhere to a standard. So it's an actual standard in order to be green, to be classified as a green procurement agency or for them. So it's not just that we don't use styrofoam or whatever, but that there's, and most government contracts, it says, okay, we're going to recycle, or we're going to use certain standards in our water, light, energy, is like that. Or when we use, if we're using a certain vendor, that vendor is going to adhere to these standards as well. And we're gonna use recycled paper, for instance, in our facilities, is that. Even when they're putting in a bid, if they give you a paper bid, hopefully they're not.
If it's
But if they do, it's gonna be on recycled paper. We talk about this.
That wouldn't be
President,
covered in the
can
policy
we-
necessarily.
Can we move?
It's under, when
Well,
you
under the
have an
environmental
environmentally preferable purchasing, it should say something in there about that. You already say it's gonna include recycled content, reduce toxicity, and increase durability, but I wrote it down, a stronger green procurement, a program and statement.
I must have missed that one, because I know we had a discussion about items that could be changed in the contract templates themselves. I don't know if
And
the
in
general
there,
counsel-
in there, you have a statement, you're supposed,
but not
I
necessarily in
wanted
the
a
policy.
statement in the solicitation about a green procurement.
Could I make a suggestion?
I do, I have a suggestion of what it would look like.
Suggest that for something like this, I think it's a little bit, I would like to maybe give folks a chance to kind of dig in and understand what would be the best way to implement something like that. So maybe that's something that could come back to finance.
Yeah, that part can. I mean, I'm not gonna hold this up because it doesn't have that, but I do feel strongly
Yeah.
that we should have a green procurement.
I think it just warrants some
Policy.
discussion and digging in and giving folks a chance to do that would probably be a good path forward at this point if folks
Yeah.
would, if you'd prefer.
That's fine, because that is how we make sure that we're adhering to our strategic plan on having, we use those buzzwords like sustainability and life cycle costs and all of this stuff about resource efficiency, but then we don't even have it in our documentation. That's what I'm looking for. But we can do that at our committee, outside of that, but that's what I'm looking for there.
So, Madam
Tied to the strategic plan, but we can take comments from everyone else, but when we're buying goods and materials or services, that particular thing, that's the only thing, there's one thing I saw was missing. Yes, sir. You want to say something? or-
I was just going to say about the committee, and we can take that up. There's some nuances we have to pay attention to regarding purchases versus services and how we would want to word that in there. It could be very difficult
Yeah,
to.
no, but I've written these before.
I
I've
understand.
written those, I know what he's supposed to say or how it's supposed to say. There's a difference between goods, commodities, services, all of that, and when it comes to green policies, but we can handle it on the committee side for that.
That's what I'm
I mean,
asking, is we could
it's-
have that
it's quite
discussion, and
fine.
we could hear from you and have the discussion, but we can move forward with all these other
Quite
changes.
fine.
And with the understanding, and that's what I'll state, that we will be coming back to revisit that at the committee.
Absolutely fine. If we can do that there, then I'm fine with moving this so the rest of the board can consider it. Okay, Director King Meredith, I'm gonna move to the rest of the comments. If anything else comes to you,
Right.
I'll circle back to you.
Right, okay.
All right, for the record, Director Weiner, you're here, but I'm gonna let you soak it in a little bit before I call on you, okay?
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
I
thanks.
do have some.
Okay, I know you have some questions, so I'm gonna come back to you. Director Windila, sir, any questions, comments?
No, your questions to Justin answered my questions. Thank you.
I'm very thorough, that's one of my skills, read some minds. Director Weiner, sir, any questions or comments?
I have a question. How much of purchasing is constrained by state law? Do they have policies regarding agencies, purchasing rules, et cetera?
They do. So there are, what's most constrained is anything related to the public contract code, so our projects, construction projects. We essentially have to follow the state law. We don't have really any flexibility outside of what the state law is telling us how we have to go about purchasing and what the limits are.
So a lot of what's in the purchasing policy, of course, follows.
It follows what the state
Can I
law,
jump
and it
in?
makes reference to the specific public contracting code or the government code that we apply. But
I jump
I'll
in?
let the general counsel rely on that one.
So there, Justin's correct. If we are building and constructing public works, then we have to follow a statutory structure. There's also a statutory structure that applies to architectural and contracts. And then there is a separate statutory structure that applies to everything else, which basically is that a requirement that an agency needs to do what we're doing right now, which is adopt a policy that explains how we're going to purchase services and goods. And so assuming there's nothing else in the specific public contract code section that addresses sanitary districts, which there's not, the board has a lot of discretion with regard to how it sets its rules for the purchases of services and goods, excluding A&E and construction.
And I noticed that there's a lot of ethics built into our purchasing policy. And in reading through it and reading through the changes, I was really struck by how thorough this policy is and how it pretty much covers anything and everything that would be involved with purchasing and leaves little flexibility for beyond what's in the purchasing policy for this subject, which I appreciate that the thoroughness of this document. And so I pretty much support everything in it. And there's one change that I've wanted to see for years and years that's in there, and I'm glad to see it. And I'm not going to go into that. So.
There is, to your earlier question, a lot of the ethics rules are also by law and statute, so building those in helps to give people the rules of the road from start to finish, and that, I think it's, on balance, it's a helpful way to serve as a guiding document for the more specific SOPs or manual or other things that staff will implement on a day-to-day basis.
Anyway, I thought it was very thorough and detailed, and yeah, I think it'll do the job, and I support the document. So.
Thank you. Vice President Alvarado?
No, I'm good.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it. So, and Director King Meredith, any further comments?
No, madam.
All right, thank you. All right, so with that, our job tonight is to adopt this amended purchasing policy and to adopt a resolution amending the management authority of the general manager. And so before one of you say anything, I am going to ask for a motion for that with the caveat that we will discuss the green
Right.
procurement policy separate in our Finance and Administration Committee meeting. May I have a motion and a second?
I'll make the motion
You'll move the item
to move the item
as stated?
as needed,
As stated?
as stated.
As
What
stated.
you had stated.
Can I have a second, please? A second. Thank you. Madam Clerk, the item's been,
Point of order.
yes, go
Yes.
ahead.
There's the, are we approving the resolution
Yes,
and the document?
yes,
Is that how this vote?
yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Item 4.
Madam Clerk, the item's been properly moved as stated and seconded. Will you please call for a vote? Seconded.
Motion by Director King Meredith and second by Director Lentila to approve regular calendar, item 4 with the caveat to discuss green purchasing, green procurement. What's the right word?
Green procurement policy, yeah.
Caveat to discuss green procurement at a future FNA meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you so much. Sir, back to you.
Thank you, Madam President. Next on the agenda is other business. Item 5, reports from staff, general manager and general counsel, which includes the July 2026 check register report, the board quarterly report for fiscal year 2026, quarter 4, and presentations from mechanic in training and operator in training interns. We'll hear from our interns first, and then staff can answer questions from the board regarding reports included in your packet. And I can have our operations and maintenance managers come up and introduce themselves and the interns. I appreciate that.
Before that, I want to break this up really quick. Directors, are there any questions or comments on the July check register report or on the board quarterly report? Seeing none, great, because I don't want to mix that up with the intern programs. Great. All right. All yours.
All right, well, it's good to be here in front of the board. We really appreciate you coming. Thank you for hearing this. My name is Russell Maxey. I'm the operation and maintenance manager. And
I'm Andre Wells. I'm the second. And we'll be introducing to both our OIT and MIT tonight. So I think the first presentation will be by our MIT, Bianca.
yes. So before you come, I'm just gonna give a little briefing. So Bianca came to us, and one thing I can say since she's been here, because I'm gonna let her get into her skills, but I want to talk about her character a little bit. She's been a very positive inspiration. She has stood on our core values. She's brought high energy, and she's just been truly a blessing to just work with and supervise. And I couldn't be more happy with her performance, her attendance, and all-around performance. So I'm going to introduce you to Bianca.
Bianca.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Good evening. Afternoon. 26.
Oh, okay. Great. So will the slides just slide on their own, or will I have to tell you to? Oh. Okay, so which button is it? The slide. Just push the button that way? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna practice. Yeah, I don't think, there it goes. Yeah. It's okay. Okay. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Bianca Minix. I am the MIT here at West County Wastewater. Today, I'd like to briefly share my journey, what I've learned during my internship, and some of the projects and experiences that have helped me grow both personally and professionally. So before joining West County Wastewater, I gained a wide range of experience through both my education and my professional career. I was a co-owner of Minix Construction Company, where I took on many different responsibilities and helped run the day-to-day operations of the business. I operated heavy equipment. I worked as a pipe fitter, managed projects, coordinated employees and subcontractors, and helped oversee the company. Running a construction company gave me firsthand leadership experience and taught me the importance of accountability and stability. It also gave me a lot of problem-solving skills. So I also worked in environmental services at Stockton State Prison, where I managed a team of approximately 32 employees. This allowed me to build on the leadership experience I already had and further develop my skills in management. I was also coordinating work and working with a team. I earned my associate's degree in business and wastewater technology from Solano College. After graduating from Solano College, I had the opportunity to work at Central Sand as an engineering assistant. This was an important step for me because it gave me the first-hand professional experience in the wastewater industry and helped me develop a stronger understanding of wastewater operations and engineering. Ultimately, I wanted to build a long-term career in the wastewater industry, which brought me to West County Wastewater. During my time here, I have been able to expand my technological knowledge, gain hands-on experience, and work with a computerized maintenance management system, and help develop and implement new processes. So the operational support, during my internship, I supported the maintenance division through contract administration, project coordination, documentation, and reporting. One project I'm especially proud of is helping develop the MIT training manual that serves as a resource for future trainees. I was also asked to create the inventory list for the newly implemented CityWorks storeroom, which was then transitioned into CMMS. I recently completed the storeroom process, which is scheduled to go live on August 17th. I will be responsible for maintaining the inventory accuracy, running audit reports, monitoring material usage, and ensuring stock levels are maintained. This will help support the needs of the maintenance division. My hands-on experience, I've gained valuable hands-on experience servicing pumps, performing preventative maintenance, troubleshooting equipment, assisting with lockout-tagout procedures, and supporting plant repairs. These experiences have strengthened my technical skills while giving me a deeper understanding on how the plant operates safely and efficiently. And then these are some project photos that I took of projects that I was on, and then I'll get into explanations. They just highlight a few of the projects that I did. I painted the doors at the plant. We had to fix a pump in the vaults on the plant. I replaced the sludge pump, and then I changed the packing in effluent pump 1. We did the PMs on the mixers, and then that was a lockout tagout that I did with operations. Projects, I've had the opportunity to coordinate and lead projects, including the Ted Wooten painting project, contractor bidding and coordinating, utility locating and door replacement projects. These experiences allowed me to apply the communication, organization, and attention to detail, project management skills I developed over the years. I also gained a deeper understanding of project coordination within a public agency environment. Skills, throughout my internship, I've developed both technical and administrative skills, including experience with the computerized maintenance management system and eBuilder, preventative maintenance, equipment troubleshooting, project coordination, and earning my mechanical maintenance technology grade 1 certificate. Each of these experiences have helped me for a successful career in wastewater maintenance. And then I just want to close by letting everybody know that this internship has definitely confirmed that I chose the right career path. Every day has proven an opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute alongside an outstanding team. I am truly grateful for the maintenance division and everyone here at West County Wastewater for your mentorship, guidance, patience, and support. Thank you for investing in me, my future, and thank you for your time today.
Hi, board members. So I'm Andre Wells, Operations and Maintenance Manager. The next presentation you will receive is from our operator in training, Ani Fowler. So Ani's been with us for approximately 5 months now. And same as Bianca, she adheres to our core values. She's been a great addition to the operations team, and she was an integral member in integral part of the WCW Digester Seeding and Startup project. So nonetheless, Ani?
I'm trying to find hers. Wait a minute.
I just want to make sure I can do it. Okay, cool. Okay, good afternoon, board members and all the guests here today. My name is Ani Fowler. I'm the OIT intern through Bayworks, just like Bianca. And I'm really grateful to have the opportunity here today to talk to you guys more about my internship and my experience overall. So just a brief overview of what my internship entailed. A lot of my daily routines were shadowing the operators and going with them on their daily rounds and perimeter checks. I did a lot of assisting with sampling, basic sampling, and basic lab procedures, so a lot of overlap with the lab staff. A lot of my classes prior to this, I was in a wastewater treatment operations program at my community college, talked about SCADA, but it's nothing like actually being able to see SCADA in person, and every plant has a different SCADA system, so I like to highlight that I was a lot more familiarized with the SCADA system at West County. I also learned about the treatment process, of course, overall, from primary all the way to disinfection and effluent. And then overall, I gained exposure across multiple departments, which is something that I really am grateful for the diversity and interdisciplinary aspect of this internship. Okay, so a little bit about my background. I am a recent graduate of UC Berkeley. I got my Bachelor's of Science in Molecular Environmental Biology last year. I also have my Associates of Science in Natural Resources from my community college in Santa Rosa. And then just recently in May of this year, I completed my one-year program with wastewater treatment operations also at my community college. So I was a transfer student and then I went back after I graduated because I was that dedicated to wastewater. Overall, I'm very STEM oriented. A lot of my experience, or all of my experience prior to this, was in academia and research and laboratory. So this is my first time in a trades environment. Super cool, but very different. And I've learned a lot, which I'll talk more about. I'm overall passionate about climate change, public health, and I really enjoy any career, any type of work that's hands-on and very interdisciplinary because, as everybody knows, no day in wastewater looks like the previous, which is something I really enjoy as well. Some of the highlights about my experience, as Andre mentioned, I was part of the new digester seeding and feeding process with the Clean and Green project. I had never talked to as many contractors and engineers and architects before, which is really cool to be able to have that opportunity. So thank you, Andre, and everybody for allowing me to just shadow and see how that process is and how people communicate from different backgrounds and are able to make such a big project come to life. Another really cool part that I'm really grateful for, which is really unique to my experience, is I had the opportunity to shadow the Environmental Compliance Inspection Department. And with them, I was able to prepare a lot of samples, like VOC samples, facility inspections, anything from dental to food service establishments, and even storm drains. And then I also attended compliance meetings and saw how compliance reports were written. I even got to talk to people from the Chevron refinery, which is super cool. And then overall, as a Bayworks intern specifically, I'm really grateful for the support that I've received from that program. Just a shout out to them and to highlight it to you guys that that is a really important resource for people that want to go into the wastewater industry. And it really helped me a lot. I don't think I would be here today if not for their support. So. I was a full-time student during this majority of my internship in the beginning. So going to work here full-time and being a full-time student, I couldn't have done it without their support. So these are some snapshots of the tasks and projects that I was part of. I would like to say my greatest legacy is painting the maintenance shop trim. So every time you guys walk by it, just know that that green was me. Titration and calibration in the titration building, the contact basins, I would say that that is like one of the main things that overlapped with my background. So I did a lot of laboratory research, and that was something that was very familiar to me, which I enjoyed. I don't know if you can really see it, but I have a really confident look on my face collecting the raw sludge sample. That's kind of like my favorite picture. This is from primary clarifier number 3. And then this is me judging some sludge at primary clarifier number 2. And then labeling samples for lab, also for the primary raw sludge. And then the digester samples, which is if anybody ever saw me walking around the plant, chances are I was going to collect a digester sample. So I also want to highlight the culture and work environment. This is like, for me as a relatively young person and kind of inexperienced in trades work and wastewater, I couldn't be more grateful for the experience I've had at West County. I've been able to work with such a diverse group of people from so many different walks of life and backgrounds. I've learned more here, not only with technical skills and just wastewater and science, but I've learned about people and how people work with each other and how people understand each other and communicate. And I could not be more grateful for the amount of effort and support that everybody, including my mentors and operators, of going out of their way to teach me something that's super basic, but going the extra mile to look things up, like look into old binders, things that they've never even looked at themselves. Like they learn with me while I'm learning, which is a really cool experience because then I feel less alone and I feel like it's a group effort. I'm also super grateful for all the food that we get, so thank you for that. Okay, not the end, one more slide. So my growth, future goals, and next steps, I am currently super dedicated towards getting my environmental compliance inspection certification, so I'm studying for that. I would like to go towards environmental compliance. My experience with them has really shown me that that is where I am best suited based off of my background and my passions for environmental issues. I also plan to take the grade 1 laboratory analyst certification through CWA just to give myself more of a boost. And then I also continue to be supported by a lot of the operators and everybody at West County to pursue the operator grade 2 certification. So I haven't given up on operations whatsoever. I would like to put my efforts into both departments. And then I am also planning to apply to grad schools. I'm applying for environmental management and climate solutions, which was cut up. So there's that. And then overall, I've gained invaluable insight into operations and what it takes to work in the wastewater treatment agency or industry. I've learned from a super diverse group of and supportive work community. And I've gained super cool hands-on experience that makes a direct impact on the community and environment, which is something that I would want from any career that I choose. And overall, I've gained a really different perspective on science outside of academia. I know that there's more outside of research in school and that science and everybody can be an environmental steward, including someone that works in wastewater. And and then the last thing I'd like to highlight is that this place is super unique in the way that it represents women in wastewater. And as a woman in STEM, I'm super grateful to have been a part of a community that really highlights, as President had mentioned earlier in this meeting, supporting women and giving that recognition. So thank you for your time, and I will answer any questions.
Yay. You had me at molecular. I was going to ask Bianca, can you please come up too? We'd like to see both of you up here. First of all, board. Join me. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I'm going to ask the board, we're going to give you just want to say, listen, I know Director Weiner and Vice President Alvarado, when we first talked about these internships years ago, this is what we had in mind. I just want to tell you. And it's been a long time coming, and you are, is the third group to come before us? Third group, maybe? Third group, Director Weiner? Is this like the third group to come before us? Maybe? And each time it gets me, and it gets better and better. And these presentations always, remind us of why we do this work. It really does. And every time I hear somebody talk about science and STEM, it thrills me. It's my love language, especially molecular environmental. I'm a molecular biologist, so anytime with science. And Bianca, just, is it fun driving the heavy equipment? I just want to know. I'm gonna let them talk to you, but is it fun driving the heavy equipment? I just want to know.
I went back to school.
Okay, I just want to know. I want to drive one. But the general manager over here, don't tell him. He won't let me out of keys. I just want to say congratulations to both of you. I think that this is what we were talking about at the beginning, right? Is uplifting not just women, but everyone. But the opportunity and giving access and opportunity is really important. But my favorite in both presentations was just, and you put it on one slide, you put it throughout your slides, talking about the work environment and the culture. They started out, these two gentlemen, Mr. Maxey and Mr. Wells, started out praising you, and then you flipped it right back to the staff. So I want to say to the staff, thank you. Thank you for making them feel welcome, and for allowing them to feel, to be with you. I know that this is a program that the board asks for, but it doesn't work without you. It just doesn't. It doesn't work without you. We can say we want a program with internships, but if it's not a willingness on the other side from each one of you, it just doesn't work. And hearing this feedback from people who have nothing to gain with telling us means that you're doing something right. Weiner, what say you, sir?
Really great presentations. We just came back from the California Association of Sewage Agencies annual semi-meetup.
You sure?
And one of the things that they stressed a lot was, I'm sure you
There
can,
you go.
I'm sure you can hear me. Everybody says I'm awfully loud. And they stressed that the industry needs people. And I hope that your experience here keeps you in the industry, that you pursue your career and advancement in your career through the many opportunities that exist, because people love this job and they stay in this job for a long time, but they retire eventually. And in order to keep the whole thing going, we need young people. And you may not consider yourselves young, but compared to me, you are. And in fact, you look like babies to me. But, yeah. And, yeah, thanks for considering wastewater as a career, and I hope you continue to pursue it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Rendila.
Well, ladies, I just wanted to say that your presentation here today kind of fits like a hand in the glove with our proclamation earlier today. So it was well done. Thank you much. And by the way, I grew up, or knew a guy in the 70s named Brian Minix.
That's my father.
No. So, he had a nice Camaro at one time. Yeah, we, as somebody that's changed a lot of packing and done a lot of pump work and stuff, I appreciate it, and you guys rock. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Director King Meredith?
Thank you, Madam President. I am so thankful that you two has come aboard to get into wastewater. As Director Weiner mentioned, that it is a need for individuals to get into water, period. And for you two young people, I'm not riding on the back of him, but young ladies to come in, it is really needed. And to see and to hear your experience, what you've attained, is just excellent. To have you to come in at this day and to be a lead for others to follow through is phenomenal. You two have stepped in and did a tremendous job. It wasn't a half job. You touched upon almost every part, but it is needed for wastewater and to go further and to further your education of where you're going. And where you going, Ms. Minnis, it's excellent. It's just excellent. You got a lot, you have a lot to give and a lot for individuals to look up at what you are doing to mentor others after you finish this internship. You've done a phenomenal job. And I'm just, I'm just awed with it. For you to break the ceiling, I'm saying break the ceiling because one of the things we talked about was the women to be in this field. And you're coming up and pass the baton for many more. You've done an excellent job, and I'm proud of you. Thank you. Madam.
Vice President Alvarado, thank you, Director King Meredith.
What else can we say? I mean, you guys are just awesome. The amount of work you've put in to where you're at right now, and you still got ways to go, but, you're putting in the work, and thank you. It's a pleasure to see a program that we only had a dream about could come to fruition years later. So, thank you, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now I have a task for you now. I have a charge for you. And the charge is what you've done and what you're doing is now, there's a saying, Maya Angelou has a saying, you know better, when you know better, you do better, right? So now you have a task. So now you know better. So now you have to tell someone else about the program. Not just Wayne County Wastewater, UR Central Sands. They have a great program too, because we love our program. We always think we're the best, but we only have so many slots, right? So now, but that this industry needs people like you. It's one of those quiet industries that people don't know much about, water and wastewater. But it's beneficial. There was something you say, both of you said it's very similar about, I'm going to say, I wrote it down. You found your people. You found your thing, right? You found your thing. And a lot of times you can't find it until you're there. It looks different written on paper, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Right? You have to get in and do it. And so I would encourage you to encourage those around you, those who may have been in a class with you, those who you may have talked to make it a consideration, because we're going to need much more people to consider and make it a consideration and to think about it in water and wastewater, right? These are not It's hard work, so I don't want to make this like this is something easy. So I don't want to be, I mean, I love it, and I think you're doing fantastic, and I think but I also want people to face the reality. It's hard work. Is it easy? It's not easy. It's not. It's not. And there's some days you're going to wake up and be like, why I choose this field? I don't even know why I decided to do this. Right?
Some days the plan is stronger than others, huh?
Absolutely. And there was something, and I think both of you said it, it's no 2 days are ever going to be alike. But the satisfaction on the back end of knowing you both talked about climate change and public health and the work that you do, there's a satisfaction that you will not see on a line item on a job description. You will not see it. You won't even be able to translate it on your resume, but you will know it. It's an intrinsic satisfaction. This is why you have each of us up here. It's hard to relate that to people. There's a reason we do what we do that you can't really say it. You're not gonna get rich. Matter of fact, we pay to be up here. We have to come out of pocket to be up here. And sometimes you lose money to work. But there's something that comes out of it that you can't relate to people. But you can tell them your experience. You are the best ambassadors for working in this industry and being part of the internship program than any marketing piece. Although we love your marketing pieces, Ms. Kate, we love them. But you guys are the best ambassadors. You ladies are the best ambassadors. You all are the best ambassadors. And you all are the best ambassadors for any program that we can put together. The work that you do and the support that you provide, we just could not do this on our own. So we thank you for that. And we congratulate you. And I don't want to congratulate you like you're going to go away and it's all done, because you still have to study for some exams from what I just read and what I just heard, right? So, but we are very proud of you. And I say that from all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir?
Thank you. Let's see, we're moving on to general manager and staff.
Oh, I actually, do we have any public comments? I didn't forget. I saw
well,
that look too.
that-
I saw that
do
look
that
too.
now.
Did we have any public comment on those items, Madam Clerk? Almost. Gotta get up a little early, catch me slipping. On item 5? Okay, we're gonna wait till after this one? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. I have a few items that I want to mention.
Okay.
The General Counsel Nicole Witt and I both attended the CASA conference that Director Weiner referred to last week, and we did a presentation on the dissolution of the West County Agency, JPA, and it was thrilling. Everybody was excited about talking about a dissolution of a JPA. And I think it was well received. I also am now, I chaired and am now the chair of the General Managers Roundtable, which is a regular event at the CASA conferences. And today, our communications manager, Kate Gibbs, and I attended a tour over at the Richmond Treatment Plant on Wastewater Wednesdays. And we had basically a personal tour from as it turned out, but that was great. And Kate, I see you looking at your phone. And you mind coming up and mentioning a few of the upcoming events?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kate Gibbs, your
Good
communications.
afternoon.
Afternoon. Yeah, so we do have a couple of upcoming events. Just want to remind everybody that September 7th is Labor Day. That's the first one on my list here. But we also are going to be participating again this year. We're going to table for the first time, though, the El Sobrante Pride Festival. So that is happening a little later in September, on Saturday, September 27th. Also, of course, we'll be at the El Sobrante Stroll. That happens a week before. I wish they'd spread those out, spread the word.
20th.
Yeah, it's the 20th, it sure is. Then also, just today, we received an invitation, and we are very much interested in going to the City of San Pablo's Careers in the Trades demonstration. So that is a series that we've gone to several of their events earlier this year. They're, in fact, career days. They're very well attended. So we plan on being out there on October 1st at the City of San Pablo. Also look forward soon to save the date for the Clean and Green ribbon cutting. I think I can say that. That is October 7th, which is a Wednesday. So surprise, we're having a ribbon cutting and you're all invited. I think I'll stop there. Actually, the Drop is celebrating its 5-year birthday this year. Don't have a date yet, but sometime in October, you'll all be invited to come and celebrate the Drop turning 5. That's what we got. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Any comments? That's all we have from staff, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Now, do we have any comments from the board? And then we'll do public comments.
Oh, comments on our reports, okay, thank you.
Yes. Do we have any comments from the board on any of those reports?
Yes, I thought our general manager's report was entertaining,
Yes.
and he was very excited about the topic, and it showed. And he highlighted the Clean and Green, and also that we got a big grant. And he went, nah, nah, nah. No, he didn't, but it was kind of like that. Nah, 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 nah. We got a big grant. And yeah, so I just wanted to add that, a little color to his very dull description of what he did.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you, go ahead.
Yes, oh, thank you. And I also would like to add that our general manager and our general counsel, they did a wonderful job. As they would say, clout and width. Very touching. Yes, they were excellent. They did an excellent job. It was after lunch. People were paying attention. It was very motivating. He walked the walk. They got up. They didn't sit down. They wasn't lazy about it. We was very proud of them. And if we wouldn't have been so ridiculous, we would say, go, 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 because they handled it. They did a wonderful job, and I kudos to them. They very, very proud of them.
Very well said. Director Rentila? You want to add yours?
Well, ditto to all of that. I mean, it was great. You guys did a great job.
Vice President Alvarado?
I thought it was, the presentation woke me up. How's that?
Yeah.
Very well done.
Very well done, and even gave a shout out to our water quality manager, Aaron. We didn't even know he was in the back. He snuck in the room, and so they made sure we knew he was there. I mean, it was very well attended. The room was full. I was sitting there during the first presentation, which was a good presentation. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, please stand up, please stand up, please stand. And what do you know? They stood up, changed the entire dynamic of the presentation of the room. Because when they stood up, the people who were in the room and kind of looking down, you know, at their phone, everybody looked up and everybody was engaged. Now, who knew that the distillation of a JPA would capture people's attention? And watch this. So, General Manager, can you just say, I don't know, say, we're going to talk about JPA in your regular voice. Can you just say it?
We're going to talk about JPA.
Now, General Counsel, could you say we're going to talk about a dissolution of JPA in your regular voice?
We're going to talk about the dissolution of a JPA.
So they have two different voices, right? And so what you got was, we're going to talk about dissolution of JPA. And then we're going to talk about just, so where you go was these like, you know, they fed off of each other and it was like high energy and they were walking back and forth. So it was really good. And so the deputy general manager was there, Justin Lavelle, and we had Aaron Warner was there, and all
Better
of
than
us were
that,
there.
you know, if we knew what you were up to over
We
there,
could try it
definitely do
again if
better
you
than
need.
that.
Try it again? Want to try it again? So let's try it one more time.
Did it at the conference.
Do what
where
you did at the conference, so
where
people could get a
Stephanie
good.
Turnipseed and Matt Lemon.
Yes, so the
Were the-
presentation in front of them were, what were their names? Tell us their
Stephanie
names.
Turnipseed and Matt Lemon.
Stephanie Turnipseed, that was her real name.
Yeah, those are
And
the ones that put me to sleep.
what was the other name?
Matt Lemon.
Matt Lemon. So it was lemon and turnip seed. And then they had a turnip seed and a lemon, like doing high five. So these two decided
Yeah.
they would start the presentation. How? Go ahead, give
So
them
they
a
had
taste.
they had a slide with their little things. Yes, those are our real names, and
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
how we do a high five. And they had a little cartoon with them doing the high five. So I said, oh, well,
general
this is
counsel
how we
brought it
do it.
home.
And so
General
Nicole
counsel.
introduced us.
And so I said, I gave our introduction, and then I said, and it's important to share right now that my real name is Whit, his real name is Clow, and this is how we high five.
Yeah, yeah.
Should write
Bam.
it.
Yeah,
Whitney Cloud, that's
Yeah.
her real name. And it was all uphill from there.
yeah.
So, great presentation, great information, and everybody was paying attention. And they remembered the name of the agency. They represented us well.
Yes.
It was a good one. Do we have any public comments, Madam Clerk?
If anyone would like to comment on item 5, please approach the podium or raise your hand. Seeing none, we have no public comment.
Thank you, Madam. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
All right. Before we move on, since we have no additional comments, and there's no action required on this, yes.
Chair, are we gonna do the quarterly report?
Well, if you have a comment on it? He just gave it to us. I mean, he submitted it. Do you have any comments on it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I just wondered if we were.
No, no,
gonna
no.
actually-
We don't have to go through it. It's just submitted. It was
Oh, I
submitted.
do have a comment.
Okay, go ahead. If there's any other further comments. So we have one question from Director Weiner. Go ahead, sir.
I don't have a question. I
have a
thought
comment?
the report is very helpful and complimentary to the district. Keep reporting on the good work. The only criticism, if it's even a criticism, is that the SSO report does not include the SSO categories that are described in the appendix as part of the spreadsheet that shows how many SSOs we had. So if there was an asterisk with a little box that said, 1, 1, 2, 2s, or whatever, it would be a good addition to the report. And that's my only comment.
Okay, got it. Got it. Noted. Perfect. Anybody else? All right, that's it. Next item.
Final item on the agenda is item 6, director's comments, meeting reports, and future agenda items. Madam Clerk, have we received any written comments or requests to speak on this item?
All right, directors, home stretch. As a reminder, directors will report on meetings they have attended for which you are seeking reimbursement or compensation from West County Wastewater and other matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the agency. Yes, 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 I know. We have very exciting, full lives. And you want everyone to know about them. However, you can tell them about that later. We only want to hear about what's related to West County Wastewater. And so, keep it brief, keep it concise, and keep it related to district business tonight anyway. So, keep it germane and keep it quick. I'm gonna mix it up. Let's start with Director Rentila. You're up, sir.
Well, since our last meeting, Tuesday, the 21st, was a city council meeting. It was a packed agenda as usual. There was discussion about the Marina Bay Lighting and Landscaping district and taxes, and then there was an ad hoc committee formation attempt by the mayor. And quite a few other issues. And then on July 28th, there was also a city council meeting. They tried to create a task force to Veolia and adopt a resolution to authorize issuance of a task force to Veolia. And then on the 26th, there was backtracking. There was also an abatement report. And then the CASA conference was last week. And then August 8th, when we came back on Saturday, the Fairmead Hilltop neighborhood, in concurrence with the RNCC, we had our annual dumpster day. We had 111 vehicles come through and dump for free, because that's what the city does. Each neighborhood gets a free dumpster day. So we had that. And then yesterday, we had our IOE meeting. Michael Savannah sat in for General Manager Clow. We had a sewer lateral compliance program review and outreach, pipes program update, and capital program update. Thank you.
You're welcome. Director Wiener, sir, you're up. For the record, our meeting was last, it was 15. You're up.
Well, I'm going to be very brief because I usually save compiling this item till the very, very, very end. And today I was informed at 3:53 that we have a 4 o'clock meeting, not a 6 o'clock meeting. So I'm going to have to submit this in writing to the board clerk.
Sure.
Done in record time.
Yeah, but you can talk about CASA. You know that one.
Yeah, well, CASA was very informative as usual. It's really a great thing to attend. A lot of interesting information about the environment. In fact, a lot of it was about environmental laws regarding PFAS, and our biosolids, and a lot of very good speakers. I attended the Risk Management Association's lecture. It was 4 hours, and the guy who was doing it was probably the best public speaker I have had the experience to listen to. He was very entertaining, and but he was serious about the subject, and he explained risk management, how to deal with tragedy, how to look at it, how to make sure that you think about how all of these things happen. They don't happen because of one reason, they happen for many reasons. And there's a lot of experience written about in our industry, and it helps you to have a training program for what to do in emergencies, and therefore limit their damage and their dangers. And it was really a good talk. So I attended pretty much every session that I could, and some of them were pretty dry, I have to say, but also very informative. So a good conference to attend, very good. This time, it was really great. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam King Meredith?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Dr. Chair. Starting back in the end of July, I attended, by Zoom, was one of the city council meetings. And, well, take it back before the 28th. Let's look at the funeral service that was held for Mr. Jolie Fisher. It was well attended. It was over a good 400 individuals that made it into the sanctuary, and it was another 100 and so outside, I'm pretty sure. But it was well attended. And that was with Mr. Jolie Fisher going away service on the 22nd. on the 28th, a Zoom Richmond City Council meeting. Director Vitila already highlighted that. I don't want to be redundant and go over, what was said. August the 3rd was San Pablo City Council, and the presentations there was Zoom. It was Zoom, I attended, and it was presentations for the public service interns that had worked doing a few weeks at San Pablo, and these was high school students and freshmen, and they were acknowledged for the work that they were trained under and mentored under were lessons learned of budgeting, finance, and data entry, and also skills in graphics. They were very well-spoken about their journey, and they were grateful for the opportunity to be able to participate in San Pablo's internship. Also, San Pablo mentioned a police report in the department. They presented courage, integrity, and innovation. And they had their presentations that fitted under the guise of those three entities. Also, San Pablo City Council presented a beautification program that would cover the FY 26 and 27 year, but it had some problems with its beautification and who was going to be serving and how the money was going to be dispersed through Public Works and to have the beautification program done. On August the 4th, I attended, it was Tuesday. Let me take it back. For that Tuesday, I think it was the 3rd, was National Night Out. I was only there for an hour due to a commitment for us to have to attend CASA annual conference. But I did make it, and I did get a chance to see quite a few of the vendors were still there, and talk to several of the community members that was there. They really enjoyed it. It was a very nice turnout, and that was National Night Out. The kickoff was at Shields Reed, and they ended up at Coronado in honor of Mr. Jolie Fisher. Coming to CASA annual conference, the theme was Rooted in Resilience, and I attended as we talked about, the general manager and general counsel represented West County Wastewater and did a fantastic job. And earlier you heard all our graphics of how we just really enjoyed them. I attended some sessions, which was the data center, talked about clean water and its agencies. They projected on what it would cost, the cost examples of reports of data centers and its impact. Also, women in water. It was a meeting with the women that was in water, and it was exclusive to women, and it was wonderful. All the women spoke. They had a chance to talk about how long they've been in the water and wastewater and what they were doing and their professionalism. And it was really great to see so many women there in one spot and to talk and to network. Last week, after last week, I attended this week was the San Pablo City Council that took place Monday evening, Zoom, and also on the 11th was the shoreline stakeholders. It was an update on the shoreline and where we're at with that and the funding that would be taking place for looking at the shoreline and all the other cities that are being part of and where we at today with that, and our next meeting for the shoreline will be in October. So with that, that ends my report out. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President Alvarado.
Okay, so since our last board meeting on July 15th, on July 22nd, I had a one-on-one with our general manager and the maintenance supervisor that was here tonight, Russell Maxey, where we discussed his role with WCW and other informative details. On August 3rd, I attended the San Pablo Council meeting via Zoom. Several things I'd like to point out. First was a presentation on the San Pablo Summer Internship Program. There was a presentation. The second was a presentation by the police chief on the annual report. And finally, a presentation on the city of San Pablo on spending of their citywide beautification project. Let's just say the mayor was not happy with it, and the council approved it 4-1. August 5th to the 7th, CASA conference in Napa. It was an informative conference that began with a session on Wednesday afternoon that highlighted 2 local agency project highlights. The one I will give you details is the one that everyone else has been talking about, which is the presentation by our own GM Andrew and our attorney Nicole, which focused on the dissolution of the JPA West County Agency, thank God, which detailed the intricacies involved. Let's just say, like I said, they both did an outstanding. The next session focused on funding strategies for wastewater infrastructure. Truthfully, it was nothing I had not already heard in the previous session. Thursday morning featured a keynote on modernizing infrastructure and incorporating sustainability and resource recovery. We then had a session right after that which discussed data centers and clean water agencies. And the afternoon session started with a state legislative update, immediately followed by a federal legislative update, which were both very informative. The Friday morning session, the final day, began with keynotes by Joaquin Esquivel, who shared some of the Water Board's recent successful initiatives. This was followed by information on the use of AI in the clean water sector. The conference speaking portion ended with information by several attorneys on the curve of the ever-evolving legal landscape. And overall, I think it was a conference. There was a little bit of a problem with the CASA app, so I was not able to use it. I wasn't the only one who had an issue with that, but it seems like CASA needs to do better when it comes to that. On August 11th was the IOA committee meeting, which Director Antila already pointed out, and that's my program. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Did you miss something?
Just one.
Pardon me?
Just one.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, and I missed one of the major ones was the MAC, the North Richmond Municipal Advisory Council, and that was, matter of fact, last night. It was code enforcement. It was a presentation for the plant solar application that is looking to have a test field of solar panels off of PAR and also AC Transit, and its contingency of the service and its plan representation, and also the emergency and operation for personal preparedness. And that ends my report.
No problem. All right. Let me see. So the last time we met, I was actually at the NALEO conference, Latino elected officials in Los Angeles, and I called in to this meeting. And then I left there and I went to the Girls in Science Symposium, which I was very happy about. And then I came back here to real life. And I attended several agenda reviews with our general counsel and general manager. I went to several events on the 21st, which I mentioned earlier was the Black Women's Equal Pay Day. on the July 21, which, for some figures, just so you know, that means dates. Compared to white non-Hispanic men, that's 65 cents on the dollar. That means you would have to work full-time all year round to July to catch up. And if you compare all men to that, you make 63 cents on the dollar. In your lifetime, that means that you're missing over $1 million in pay. For Latina women, that's going to be in October, so you'll hear me say this again in October. You got to work all the way to October to catch up. So you're missing 10 months out of the year. On the 22nd, Director King Meredith mentioned this, but we attended the memorial service for Jolie Fisher, which this board approved a resolution for, and I delivered that to the family and on behalf of the agency and the board, that resolution rather, as well as resolution from 2 other organizations on that day. That later that week, I also attended several other events, including an event called the King's Accountability, which I spoke at in terms of, they asked me to speak with regard to what we do here, as well as talking to young men about STEM opportunities. I attended the HAZMAT, the Contra Costa HAZMAT committee meeting. We had a US EPA tour on the 25th. On the week of the 29th, 29th, 30, and 31, I actually ended up going to, it's called the 40 Acres Project, with the Environmental Caucus, members of the Black Caucus, members of the Environmental Caucus, to an area near Immigrant Gap to visit a project that the Parks Association is putting together to look at. It's a phenomenal project. I'll give more details, I'll write them out. I don't want to, about a new park that they're putting together near Immigrant Gap out by Lake Tahoe. I'm doing the water portion of that. Water education for children will be something that I'm helping them work on. National Night Out, as Director King Meredith just mentioned, she was in Richmond. I actually was able to stop by El Cerrito, which was interesting since they made national news. Before we went back to Napa. We went to Napa twice that day. I will not repeat what my fellow directors already talked to you about, but I did want to add that we also, all of us attended several sessions, not only on AI, several of us attended sessions on the circular economy. Director King Meredith mentioned we attended Women in Water, Water and Wastewater, but we also attended biosolids, Director Wiener and Director King Meredith on biosolids, and our Bay Area Biosolids Coalition, as well as our statewide biosolids coalition meeting. We attended, that was the very last day. So I wanted to make sure, I know, Director Wiener, you're going to write those notes, but I wanted to say it so that it's on the record.
Right.
I did attend a CSDA webinar. I know that some of you are not attending these, and I'm going to say it again. I know I've said it several times, that you need to be taking advantage of our CSDA benefits. And one of them is lots of webinars. The one that I attended last week or a week and a half ago, it's called How Years of Federal Policy Shifts Have Impacted Your Agency's Ability to Borrow Money. It was a very, very good webinar, and I attended the live event, but it is available on the CSDA website if you want to log in and look at it. But it's a really good one, and they have another one that I attended after that about I attended that one on I think it was the 27th. I attended that one, the live one on 21st, and then on the 27th, I attended another one talking about borrowing money as well as the 218 process. So go on the CSDA website, you all, and look at some of the different webinars that they have. It is really beneficial to know what that is. All right. And I think that's enough. I also, I did go to the Board of Supervisors meeting, the Resilience meeting, and Director King Meredith and I both were on the Shoreline meeting. Yeah, that's enough. Oh, I did attend the San Pablo City Council meeting as well as the Richmond meeting as well.
Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday, which I believe they owe us a paycheck as long as they kept us on there
I know. I
twice
forgot to tell you. Yeah.
yesterday. So, yeah,
right,
they owe us.
3:30.
Okay, that was enough. With that, do we have any public comments? And I have one more comment that I want to make. Any public comments? You have another comment, Director? But I have something to say before we close out.
Okay, I just, should I say it now, or?
What?
Well, I wanted to thank everybody here publicly, my fellow board members, for sending their blessings and love for my mom, who's a little under the weather right now. And I also wanted to congratulate
I got it.
you guys for
I got
thanking
it.
my mom.
Yeah, I got it. All right, let me get her first. I got it.
Okay?
Go ahead. Do we have any public comment? All right, great. And before we adjourn, I just wanted to say to Director Rentila and Vice President Alvarado, see, I totally got it. So if you were not paying attention, so we finished the filing period for the new election for 2026 has closed. It closed last Friday. And it was verified this past Monday, and each of us were notified. The positions were unopposed. So I suppose we will all be here again for 4 more years.
4 more years. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that we will deal with that later. But yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations. So the 3 of us were, I guess that's reelected by acclamation. Madam Clerk, that is all the business we have on the calendar, and do you want to announce the recess? Because here we are.
Were you scheduled now?
Okay, it says tentatively canceled 9/8. Is that true?
Right.
So it is canceled?
The 10th is, yeah.
Okay, so it is canceled. So it is canceled. Okay. So the next meeting is 9/10. Okay. All right. All right, board.
9:10 or
Not 9:10.
The 9/10 is the next actual meeting, which is the Finance Administration Committee meeting. And then the next board meeting is 9/16.
Okay.
Correct?
But the financial is,
Our finance meeting is 9/10. With that,
thought it was
board,
canceled.
take care of yourselves. Cuídate, be careful. Good travels if you're going anywhere. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you, staff. And with that, it is 5:53, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Did you sign up for CSDA? Did you sign up for
kind of
CSDA?
CSDA.
Yes. You're going, right?
No, I didn't sign up.
Just ask Robin, send you.
Huh? I think early bird is gone.
I don't,
Make sure
yeah, check and see.
things are off. Please clean up your desk. It's
No,
gonna be a long
I was
time
just
before you get
looking.
back. Turn your mics off. She sent me a note. I had already filed it, and now she's telling me. Now she said. Now she's telling me I'm late.
They told me I have till the 17th. I've been on it for the last 2 days.
Miss Ani.
Hi.